Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. This is the perfect place to be if you like to connect, to chat, and just to have some creative fun. So make sure you're saying hi to each other and letting each other know that you're glad they're here, and welcome each other. And yeah. So, as you welcome each other, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Lillian from Stampers Niche. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada, where it is extremely warm, which we're not used to temperatures in the 30s, and we've been having that. So I hope you're able to stay cool. Today's date is the 21st of July 2024, in case you're watching this at a different time. So as you're staying cool, one of the strategies we did today was we had to do some grocery shopping. Now the grocery store is always cool, right? So we looked and said, okay, when is the hottest part of the day? And let's go grocery shopping then. So that was one of our strategies for staying cool today and getting. We don't really enjoy grocery shopping, at least I don't. And we got that done. So as you're hopping on, make sure you're welcoming each other and saying hi. That's super. If you're watching the replay, make sure to say hi too. Just even say hi or watching the replay, just to let us know that you did catch us and that you're part of our community. Engagement question as we go down to the desktop. What is some happy news that you have? Now, sometimes we hear about all the doom and gloom, and lately people have been saying, what's your happy news? And so I've been looking at just happy things that have been happening in my life, just everyday, ordinary kinds of things. So as I go down the desktop, why don't you, maybe I'm going down to my desktop, there we go. Why don't you share some news that is happy, all right? Maybe it is that you have air conditioning, or maybe you had a really nice supper or something. Maybe you had some fresh berries. Maybe, I'm just saying some things. I had my first ice cream cone in a few weeks tonight. So there's some of my happy news. One of the other things is that we often, as many of you know, I have issues right now with my left leg. So I can't do my long walks anymore, but I can do short walks. And we are so fortunate. We've got a great trail system here near where we live. And one of the spots along the trail has a lake. Now, I think it was a man-made lake or one that was for storm runoff or whatever, but it's getting older and there's all kinds of bird life there. We've seen herons, of course, lots of blackbirds and geese and that kind of thing. And for a few days, we even saw some pelicans, and they only came at a certain time of the day. But part of my happy news is that I am enjoying just where I live and having all the things that are happening around me. So I just saw somebody say it's cooler today where you live, so that is super to hear. That is fabulous. So while you're sharing your happy news, I have some happy news to share with you. Tomorrow, Tuesday, the 23rd of, did I say today was the 21st? Today's the 22nd. The 23rd, tomorrow, is free shipping. Free shipping on any orders that are $100 or more. So that can be like an $11 or more savings. And what's more, it's sort of like not only double dipping, but I'm going to share triple dipping. Because right now, if you spend $60 in Canada, you earn a $6 coupon. So tomorrow, my goal is to try to hit 120, so I earn 2 coupons. That's my strategy. So I've got my list, and I'm working on that. The other thing that you might be saying, what's the triple dip? Well, the triple dip is during the month of July. I've offered this class, and I've offered it free to those who place a $60 or more order. So you can purchase this class, yes, but if you spend $100 or more tomorrow, you get free shipping, you get the bonus coupons, and you get a free class. So that's 3 things if you do that tomorrow. Also, they have just announced that Paper Pumpkin, not actual paper pumpkins, but the Paper Pumpkin refills and extra products are going to be up to 75% off. Now, here's a little warning. You have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, but you can subscribe tonight or subscribe tomorrow morning and then take advantage of that if you haven't already. And some just gorgeous things there. Plus, it's free shipping tomorrow. So you can benefit from that as well. You can make that part of your order. So I just wanted to point that out. And I also wanted to just share things that I've been thinking of as I'm looking at my order for tomorrow. There are must-haves. So have I got enough cardstock? I always check my basic white. Do I have enough envelopes, adhesives, trimmer blades, ink refills, die cutting plates? And I think that perhaps I really need to put that on my list. My die cutting plate is looking a little sad. So I call those my must-haves. And then I have another list that is wish I had. So there are a couple of kits I have my eyes on, so I've kind of jotted them down. I've got a few bundles. These 2 are actually only found online, so you can go to my website and check that out. And the designer paper, DSP stands for Designer Series Paper. Mediterranean Blooms is on my list. So those are just a few things. So if you had unlimited money, what is one thing that you would have on your list tomorrow? How about sharing that? One thing that you would like to order if you weren't hampered by a budget. Let me know that. And while you're jotting that in, I just wanted to remind you about the card we made last week. It was this fun fold, and I'm so pleased that some of you have been sharing yours, and others have said that you are making, either have made it or are going to make it. I've already given one away. So these are the 3 samples, and this is the one we made last week. So have you made that card? Have you made that fun fold? Let us know in the comments. And that being said, I know that many of you love fun folds. So I was at a meeting with my upline. So Karen Duke is the person I signed up to be a demonstrator under. So she's sort of like my Stampin' Up mom, I guess you could say. And she, part of the meeting, she had us make this card. So it's nice and flat. Here's a regular envelope. It fits inside perfectly. It's our regular card size. But when you open it up, it's a 3D card. And I forgot, and then you put your writing on the back. So I forgot to jot down the actual name of this card. I know that I have shown it to you, but I haven't shown you how to make it before. So if anyone knows the name of this card, could you please let us know? So this looks fairly complicated, but it really isn't. So this is what I made. I just was using scraps that I had to make this. And so let's see how to make it. All right. So I decided that I would use, where did I put the stuff? Some new designer paper that's on the online exclusives. And it's, you might say, well, it's Christmas, but it's not just Christmas. It's got fall. It's got, well, let me just take a look, see. So we've got trees on one side, and then we've got the cranberry candy canes, forest, acorns, polka dots, plaid, branches. I'm not sure what they are. Champagne, hearts, just a nice basic design, some leaves, some trees. And these trees are moody mauve, so they have a different look. So we've got this, we've got these pumpkins, this plaid, we've got this and that, and we've got this, there's also a die set and stamp set that goes with this paper that cuts out a lot of these images. So it like cuts out the trees and all kinds of things in here. So I wanted to use this, and I was looking at this, so I kind of wanted two different designs of paper. So I looked through and I thought, oh, I'm going to use this. Now I could have used the back of that, but I didn't think it went that well. So the other paper in here is this, and it looks much like that. So we're going to use these two sheets from this paper here. And this paper is called Iconic Celebrations. So these are the colors of cardstock that they suggest to go with it. And obviously you can see by looking at it, you could always add other colors as well, but those are the colors they suggest. Remember, that's always found right here. I just like to write it in bigger print so my eyes don't have to strain. So because I chose these papers here, I thought, well, I think I would like to choose Misty Moonlight and Moody Mauve to go with it. So those are the colors I chose to go with it. And we're going to start with the base of the card. So in this card, that's the green part right here. So you're going to cut your cardstock in half, and then the piece you're going to use is going to be 10.5 inches long. So it's 4 1/4 by 10.5. And then you're going to do some scoring. And here's the instructions here in case you want a screenshot, but it will also be in double box fancy fold. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Great. I'll have to remember that. These will also be in Thursday's newsletter, as always. So what we're going to do is take that cutting blade out of the way, and we're going to score at 5.5. So this is going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4. There's our basic card size. And then we're going to score it. I better put the arm out. 6 3/4. And then we're going to score it at 8. And then we're going to score it at 9 1/4. Now I already scored it, as you can see, but I wanted to just show the process there. So each of these is the same, and they are 1 1/4 inches. So they're all identical. So if you didn't want your box to be quite so deep, that's one way of adjusting the measurements. So while we've got our paper trimmer out, the Moody Mauve piece is 5.5 by 3.5, and we're going to score it at 3.5. So this section here is going to be 3.5 by 3.5, and then we're also going to score it at 4 3/4. Let me just show that to you again. So that's the Moody Mauve layer, and this is the Misty Moonlight layer right there. Okay, so we're going to do that. And we'll move this out of the way. Move these out of the way. We're going to first off make our card base. So we're just going to fold in. I'm folding in at the 5.5. And then I'm just going to keep folding in on each of the scored lines, giving them a good burnish. Just like that. So now you've got a look like that. We're going to put adhesive on this last panel, and you want a strong adhesive. So either I would use Tear and Tape or our multi-purpose liquid glue, or for tonight I'm using Seal Plus. So you want a strong adhesive because it's going to get lots of movement there. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but you always worry about how to get things glued down properly. I'm going to show you a little trick. So this is the panel number 1. Here's panel number 2. We're going to fold it down right like that. So we've got the gluey panel, the empty panel, and now we're just going to close this up. Everything is flat. See, it's all flat. Give it a good little burnish, and when you pop it up, it's going to be just like that. No muss, no fuss. Now, what Karen suggested is fold it back and forth a few times so that it's pretty flexible, like that. So there, we've got that, just like that. Now we're going to put something in the background. Where did my card go? Here. So you can see that I just put, I embossed a piece of white cardstock. So that basic white is, let me just see, 4 by 4. So here it is, 4 by 4. And we are going to emboss it. I had a hard time deciding, but we're going to use the So Swirly. Now, the So Swirly is not a 3D embossing folder. So when you go to emboss with this, you're going to have your platform number 1, right here, number 1, but you're going to take off platform number 2. You don't want platform number 2. And you're going to then also use your plates, your clear plates. Well, they're supposed to be clear, right? So I'm going to put this in here. Doesn't really matter if it's straight or not. Folded edge in first. This is just to add interest. I could have used designer paper. I could have stamped things on this. You're not locked into embossing. You can do whatever you want. But I just liked how it added texture. So we'll open that up, and we've got that great texture. Isn't that fun? I really, really like it. So we're going to glue that down right here. So we're going to center it just as if we were making just as if we were making a card. Sorry, I had a message come in and I got distracted. I shouldn't do that. There we go. So I'll stick that down. So there, we've got that part done. Now what we need to work on is this little part here. So for this one here, we're going to, again, fold in like this and fold in again. And now we've got the shape, and I'm just going to show how it's going. So here are our folds. This is going to go here, and this is going to go here. But we want to decorate this panel here and this panel here, and we also want to decorate this. So this is where I'm going to ask for your help. So for the designer paper for here, what I am going to do is cut it at, I think I decided to go a little larger, or did I? No, 2 3/4. Now this paper has a direction. We don't want the candles going sideways, but because we're just cutting a square, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, it doesn't really matter, right? Just ask you a question. So this is going to go here, and this is going to go on here. So should I use the spotted side? Let me just, it's going to go here. This is where it's going to go. Spotted side or the star side? Should I use stars or spots? And while you're answering that, I'm going to just glue a few of these together. Stars or spots? Stars or spots for the accent piece? Stars. Okie dokie. We will do that. There we go. And we're going to cut these. So the one for here is going to be a little bit longer. And then the one for here is going to be a little shorter, obviously, because it's shorter. But they're both going to be 1 inch wide. So we'll cut it at 1 inch. And And one of them is going to be 1x4. Put that to the side. And then one of them is going to be 1 inch by 3¼ I guess if we couldn't have made up our mind, we could have alternated it too, right? We'll go with the stars though. So the long one is going to go on here. So I'm going to put my adhesive on here. This is the 4 inch, 4 by 1 inch. And I love how this goes flat. There we go. And then we'll bring this one in, and this is going to go here. My husband is at the Riverhawks baseball game tonight, so he is sitting in the warm sunshine. I am not envying him one little bit. Now, we could put this down flat, and actually I think we will, because we're going to be using some dimensional. So we'll add this, and then we're going to assemble it and do the extra stuff afterwards. So we'll just center this. I've even stuck with 1/4 inch increments so that everybody's happy. So what we're going to do now is stick this edge, so the bottom edge, not the folded edge, onto here. So in order to do that, I want to be careful as to where I put my adhesive. So I'm going to put some adhesive along the bottom edge, and then I'm going to guesstimate. I'm going to put some here, like that, and just center it. I'm watching, it's easier to see on the white, so I'm just centering it on the white. Like that. So we've got that fastened down like that. So I've got it straight here, equal borders all the way around, basically. And then this one here, what we're going to do is put adhesive on here, and then do just like we did when we made this one. We're going to put it flat and stick it down so that you don't have to juggle. Am I getting it straight? All that kind of thing. It's just really pretty easy. It was like a light bulb moment when I learned that I could do it that way. So much easier. So there, we'll stick it down, give it a moment to set up. I'll put the lid on my glue while it's doing that. And we have our basic card, just like that. Now, while it's setting up, let me just bring this back in again. If I had wanted to, I could have made the card stand up this way too. So it can go either way. It can go landscape and it stands up, it balances, or it can go, did I say landscape? Portrait or landscape. So there we are. We've got it that far, and I'm going to bring in a piece. This is from the Greetings of the Season dies, and we're going to use this die. And I was playing around. Some of you saw pictures when I was on holidays where I was coloring all these pieces. I used these to help me design the card. They're not the right colors, but I thought, okay, I could put a cake there. The candles go with the candles there. So that was my thinking. So let's stamp that cake. Go right here. One of the things I love about my glass mat is I don't need to put a cushion. If you don't have a glass mat, you actually have to have a cushion when you're using photopolymer stamps. But the glass mat is, whoops, make sure I let go of that. The glass mat, you don't have to. So there we go. We've got the cake. Ooh, I love it. And where did I put the lid to that? Oh, here it is. I like to put that on right away. And then we're going to color it. So we are going to bring in some colors. Now, I don't have Moody Mauve. So one of the things I better add to my list tomorrow is Moody Mauve, right? But so I played around as to what colors would go. And this is Blackberry Bliss, and this is Petunia Pop, so the light and dark. And I thought Blackberry Bliss did okay. And then Daffodil Delight. And there's some Cajun Craze in these candles, so I took my Cajun Craze and I just put a little bit at the bottom, you know, where the candle burns the darkest. Doesn't matter what end, I just like the bullet end myself, that's all. When I started, I liked the brush end, so it all just depends. So just like that, we have the candles. Oh, and we should put some Wink of Stella on it too, right? So in case you wonder, I often do this, put the colors down on paper and play around a little bit. Now, I didn't feel like coloring the whole cake, but I thought, well, I would color the stripes at least. So I'm taking my dark Blackberry Bliss and just feathering a little bit out. Not being too careful, as you can tell. I'm not a master colorer, but the blends have reformed my life as far as coloring goes. And then I'm taking the light and just pulling the dark over. Right now they're all looking much the same, but as they dry, they are going to just show a little bit of light and dark. Just like that. And we have our cake. That is going to go on here. But we need some words, right? And I'm not going to get you to watch everything, but what I did is I brought in some scraps of the Moody Mauve and the Misty Moonlight, and I stamped. Well, no, I didn't do it. I thought I did. I guess I will do it right now. I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday in both of them and emboss in white. So I'll bring in my Versamark, and as many of you know, I keep my embossing buddy with my Versamark, so I'll remember. Remember a couple of weeks ago I said that I had Mossy Meadow ink, open Mossy Meadow ink pad go flying off my desk? Well, this is one of the casualties there. And we're going to stamp Happy Birthday on both of these. Doesn't matter if it's upside down or right side up, which is fortunate because this is upside down. There we go. Put the lid on that. Put that out of the way. And we're going to bring in some embossing powder as well. I should have waited, but I didn't know free shipping was coming. So this embossing powder is just better than ever, I'm finding. How many of you have got this new embossing powder? It's really good stuff. So I'm doing Happy Birthday there, and I'm doing Happy Birthday here. I'm using my embossing tray so I can just, afterwards it works like a little funnel. And we can put it all back in the container. The little brush comes with it, as do the tweezers, which I absolutely love the tweezers. It's almost worth it just for the tweezers, but I use that embossing tray for when I'm doing shaker cards, working with beads, everything. Roz, you've got the new embossing powders? Oh, super. Oh, come on. My heat tool, there it goes. I think it's on its last legs. There. What do you find is really good about the embossing powders, Roz? I just find they're brighter for myself, but and that they just seem to work. They stick better. They as soon as I get my new metallics, I'm going to do a comparison. You've got your husband using them. Super, Roz. I love it. There we go. So there we go, like that. Let me just, I started the comparison chart, Linda, but I haven't got very far. and because I don't have the metallics, but I found that the white was just brighter, and I've seen other people's comparison charts, so these are my old ones, that they are brighter and they just seem to work a little better. So did your husband get caught up with the magic of them, Roz? So what I did with these is I brought in this, and I'm just going to freehand, bring my little tray here, cut these apart, and I want happy in one color, and I'm not going to cut them perfectly. I want them cut kind of wonky so they look like they're hand cut. And I want birthday, because my happy birthday was too big to fit on there, and this is a way of just bringing the colors together as well. So we can put that on here and have it look like that. I used my mini dimensionals, if I can find them here. There we go. Remember, if you don't have mini dimensionals, you can always cut your dimensionals in half. But you might want to put mini dimensionals on your list for tomorrow then, because they are neat to have, and plus they, per dimensional, of course, they cost less than our regular dimensionals, so you can stretch your dollar a little bit farther and have them already cut for yourself. So now this is going to go on here, but we want to do a few things yet. We want to add some twine. Oh, here's a decision for you. Do we want twine or sparkly ribbon? So we could put this and maybe tie a bit of the Moody Mauve twine around it. Or we could just use the Moody Mauve twine. What do you think? Ribbon and twine or just twine? Oh, he was fascinated. Oh, I wish I could have seen his face, Roz. That's so neat. I just love it. So, twine or ribbon and twine? Ribbon with the twine. Okie dokie. We are going to do ribbon and twine. Do this. And so what I'm doing is I'm just feeding my ribbon through. This ribbon is so much fun because it's got the sparkles in it. And I think I want to... go like that. Now here's another way I love to use my tweezers is an extra pair of hands. So they're going to hold that in place. We're just going to feed the twine underneath. And for the twine, I'm just going to tie a knot because this is fairly thick twine. And I'm on camera, so don't think I'm going to tie a bow with it. There we go. How many of you have started using your tweezers as an extra set of hands? I know for some of us that was another light bulb moment. And remember, if you have cut little slits in here, take a moment and slide your twine back in those slits so they don't get all unraveled. There we go. We've got it looking like this. Now we could do one more thing here. We could, and I stamped one ahead of time. There are actually dies that go with this. We could put it on dimensionals. Should we do that? Oh, why not, right? We've got it done already. Let's go for it. So I'll stick a couple of dimensionals here. Normally I wouldn't have colored one if I was going to put this on dimensionals, but we've got it all going. We'll just make sure that we're going right on top. So now we've got that added dimension to that, and I think we'll put it on dimension. Ooh, now there's a happy accident. Look at that. The end goes right from edge to edge of the basic white. Perfect. Don't you love it when happy accidents happen? There we go. Just like that. We've got it like that, and we of course need a few embellishments. So let me just see here. We have the iridescent foil gems. We have the brand new pecan pie and clear. Ooh. I think I might like the pecan pie. We'll have to see here. Don't know why I like that. And we also have the adhesive back sparkle gems. So sparkle gems, iridescent. Okay, let me just see. Sparkle gems will be number 1, iridescent number 2, and pecan pie number 3. Which do you think? 1, 2, 3. Which should we use? 1, 2, 3. What do you think we should do? Sparkle. Okie dokie, we will do sparkle. There we go. So which color sparkle? Oh, I think with the candles we have to go with gold. I will make that decision for you there. And okie doke. Oh, and with the ribbon, yeah, we definitely have to go with. Ooh, now decisions. I'm going to put one right on the cake and maybe leave it like that. Now, where do we write? We're going to write on the very back. So we're going to bring in a piece of paper, cardstock, that is whatever size you want it to be. I went with 3 3/4 by 5, and ahead of time I stamped the cake on it, and it's going to fit on there like that. I'm just going to use a little bit of my seal because I likely am going to stamp the words on here and I want to be able to take it off. So all I'll do is blast it with the heat tool a little bit and I'll be able to remove that easily. So like that. So there you have it. There is our easy, double box fold card. So just like that, it doesn't look easy. It looks like you did a little work on that, but there it is like that. Here is the one that was the inspiration that Karen taught us, and I did contact Karen for permission to do this card with you. And then, you know, I'm hooked on the Let's Wander stamp set, and so I had to do one. And this is the, is it Nature's Sweetness? It's the designer paper that has the gold in it that was carried forward from the last catalog. I can't remember. So again, I just put some twine here, but what I did with this twine is I separated it so it looks a little frayed and it's much thinner. So there you see 3 different cards that will stand up but go flat to be mailed. So just before I tuck these away, I just had a couple of things to show you. I have tons of things to show you, but I don't want to use up all of your time. But I wanted to show how I used that stack that I had colored, and I used the dies, everyday greeting dies, to make a tag and just make a focal point there. Oh, here's the other card. I thought I'd given it away. I also used the Attention Shoppers to make this little shopping list. So here's it right here. So just lots of fun. And some of you are saying, where is the Attention Shoppers in the catalog? It's on page 65. So it's right here. It's a bundle, so stamp set and dies. And some of you might be saying, where are the embossing powders? I'm working on my list. So if you look in the index, you will see here embossing, heat, and paste. So page 126, right here, you will see the embossing powders right here. Add your powder. So it's talking about your Versamark ink, add your powder, turn up the heat. So just like that. So you're taking a second look at the iconic imagery bundle. Oh, I'm so glad. I got the paper, and now I'm thinking I need the stamp set and dies too, because I think the paper is fabulous and it has so many uses for so many seasons. So there you have it, everyone. Remember, make sure to, if you've got a list or you've got a little bit of shopping money, get it out tomorrow and get that list submitted and save some money. If you need any help, contact me. If you don't have quite $100, maybe you've got some friends you can go in with, or if you live locally, you can put yours in with mine and get free shipping, but you need to get your order to me by noon, okay? So, oh, I just looked. Sorry, one more thing. I took, you remember the embossing folder we used tonight, the So Swirly one, this one here? I used it to just transform a brown paper bag, put the alphabet alphabet a la mode letters on it, and then used a couple of the dies from the, oh, I'm running out of words tonight, Greetings of the Season, and tied them around, and now I have a cute little gift bag, just like that. So that's, I promise, I really will finish now. Okay, thanks everybody. Stay cool and keep sharing what you're doing and have some fun with these. All right, okay, bye-bye.